A man goes into a restaurant and is seated. All the waitresses are gorgeous. A particularly voluptuous waitress, wearing a very short skirt and legs that won't quit, came to his table and asked if he was ready to order. "What would you like, sir?" He looks at the menu and then scans her beautiful frame top to bottom, then answers, "A quickie." The waitress turns and walks away in disgust. After she regains her composure, she returns and asks again, "What would you like, sir?" Again, the man thoroughly checks her out and again answers, "A quickie, please." This time, her anger takes over. She reaches over and slaps him across the face with a resounding smack and storms away. A man sitting at the next table leans over and whispers, "Buddy, I believe it's pronounced QUICHE." One morning, the members of a farm family were coming to the kitchen for breakfast. Just as Junior sat himself, his mother told him he was not going to get anything to eat until he went to the barn and fed the animals. Irritated at this, he stomped out of the door and headed for the barn. As he fed the chickens, he kicked each one in the head. As the cow bent down to start in on the fresh hay he had just put in the stall, he kicked it in the air. He poured food for the pigs, and as they started eating, he kicked them in the head. He went back to the kitchen and sat down again. His mother was furious. "I saw what you did, and as you kicked your chickens, you'll get no eggs for breakfast. And since you kicked the cow, you'll get no milk, and no bacon or sausage because you kicked the pigs," his mother scolded. Just then, the father came down the stairs and nearly tripped on the family cat. On impulse, he kicked the cat off the stairs. The boy looked at his mother and asked, "Are you going to tell him, or should I?" 3 guys die together in a tragic accident, and they all go to heaven. When they get there, St. Peter greets them and tells them, "We only have one rule here in heaven, don't step on the ducks." So, they enter heaven, and sure enough, there are ducks all over the place. It's almost impossible not to step on a duck, there are so many, and though they try their utmost to avoid standing on them, the first guy soon accidentally steps on one. St. Peter then appears with the ugliest woman the guy had ever seen. St. Peter chains the woman to the guy and says to him, "Your punishment for stepping on a duck is to spend eternity chained to this ugly woman." The next day, the second guy also accidentally steps on a duck. Once again, St. Peter shows up, and with him is another extremely ugly woman. He chains the woman to the second guy, saying, "Your punishment for stepping on a duck is to spend eternity chained to this ugly woman." The third guy has observed all this, and as he really doesn't want to be chained to an ugly woman for eternity, he's extremely careful where he steps. Indeed, he manages to go months without stepping on any ducks. One day, though, St. Peter appears with the most gorgeous woman the guy has ever laid eyes on. She's tall, curvaceous, tanned, and extremely sexy. Without a word, St. Peter chains the woman to the third guy. The guy happily says to the woman, "I wonder what I did to deserve being chained to you for all eternity." The woman replies, "I don't know about you, but I stepped on a duck." The wise old Mr. Superior from County Tipperary was dying. The nuns gathered around her bed trying to make her comfortable. They gave her some warm milk to drink, but she refused it. Then one nun took the glass back to the kitchen. Remembering a bottle of Irish whiskey received as a gift the previous Christmas, she opened and poured a generous amount into the warm milk. Back at Mr. Superior's bed, she held the glass to her lips. Mr. Superior drank a little, then a little more. Before they knew it, she had drunk the whole glass down to the last drop. "Mother," the nuns pleaded, "please give us some wisdom before you die." She raised herself up in bed, and with a pious look on her face said, "Don't sell that cow." A man was very proud of his guard dog. He would leave it to roam free in the garden to show the world his house was guarded. One day, a woman knocked at his door. "Is that your big dog outside?" Wondering how she had got past him, he said, "Yes, why?" She said, "I'm sorry, but my dog just killed him." "What?" roared the man. "What kind of dog have you got?" "A quickie," replied the woman. "A quickie? How could that little thing kill my big fine guard dog?" "I think it got stuck in his throat," replied the woman. One day, a man decided to retire, so he booked himself on a Caribbean cruise and proceeded to have the time of his life, that is, until the ship sank. He soon found himself on an island with no other people, no supplies, nothing, only bananas and coconuts. After about 4 months, he is lying on the beach one day when the most gorgeous woman he has ever seen rose up to the shore. In disbelief, he asks, "Where did you come from?" "How did you get here?" she replies. "I rowed over from the other side of the island where I landed when my cruise ship sank." "Amazing," he notes. "You were really lucky to have a rowboat wash up with you." "Oh, this thing?" explains the woman. "I made the boat out of some raw material I found on the island. The oars were whittled from gum tree branches. I wove the bottom from palm tree branches, and the sides and stern came from a eucalyptus tree." "But where did you get the tools?" "Oh, that was no problem," replied the woman. "On the south side of the island, a very unusual stratum of alluvial rock is exposed. I found that if I fired it to a certain temperature in my kiln, it melted into ductile iron. I used that to make tools and used the tools to make the hardware." The guy is stunned. "Let's row over to my place," she says. So, after a short time of rowing, she soon docks the boat at a small wharf. As the man looks to shore, he nearly falls off the boat. Before him is a long stone walk leading to a cabin and tree house. While the woman ties up the rowboat with an expertly woven hemp rope, the man can only stare ahead, dumbstruck. As they walk into the house, she says casually, "It's not much, but I call it home. Sit down, please. Would you like a drink?" "No, no, thank you," the man blurts out, still dazed. "I can't take another drop of coconut juice." "It's not coconut juice," winks the woman. "I have a still. How would you like a tropical spritz?" Trying to hide his continued amazement, the man accepts, and they sit down on her couch to talk. After they exchange their individual survival stories, the woman announces, "I'm going to slip into something more comfortable. Would you like to take a shower and shave? There's a razor in the bathroom cabinet upstairs." No longer questioning anything, the man goes upstairs into the bathroom. There, in the cabinet, is a razor made from a piece of tortoise bone. 2 shells honed to a hollow ground edge are fastened onto its end, inside a swivel mechanism. "This woman is amazing," he muses. "What's next?" When he returns, she greets him wearing nothing but some small flowers on tiny vines, each strategically positioned. She smelled faintly of gardenias. She then beckons for him to sit down next to her. "Tell me," she begins suggestively, slithering closer to him, "we've both been out here for many months. You must have been lonely. There's something I'm certain you feel like doing right now, something you've been longing for, right?" She stares into his eyes. He can't believe what he's hearing. "You mean," he swallows excitedly as tears start to form in his eyes, "you've built a golf course?"